Welcome everyone to another edition of Gamer Logic, and on today's episode, I'm reviewing Alucard's Severed Head. Wait, no. So this is the box that is provided to you when you pick up the Alucard statue from Mondo. It's a decent box. Obviously, kind of what you see is what you get here. You got Alucard on the front. You have his bat as well as his wolf forms depicted. And the box itself is pretty cut and dry. Now, it's at the inside of the box where some of the key components and stuff are wrapped decently, but some things like the head are not wrapped very well, which seems to focus on the most breakable part of the statue, and we'll focus on that in a bit. The hair breaks really easy just because it's not packed very well, and it's very delicate, but this is a pretty simple box. It really doesn't stand out in terms of looking at it at a shelf, on a shelf. It's just basic. It gets the job done, but it is a decent sized box. And here we are. This is the Alucard statue itself in the flesh, holding his sword high. Take a good look at him there. So this is what you would be getting if you paid $299 for this statue. Now, if this is the first Alucard statue you've ever seen, you probably think this thing looks pretty decent. But as people have pointed out to me, there has been other Alucard statues that just look a lot better. Especially when you compare the price of this compared to the other statues, you're not really getting a great deal, which is unfortunate. Now, the way this statue is put together, it has several magnetic pieces, and that includes the arms. So there's no snap-in joints or anything like that. It's pretty much as simple as just taking the pieces and sticking it towards the magnet and having it attach, which some people, as I've read, have reported that their magnets are not strong enough and they are barely able to hold on to even like the body parts of the head. Now, in the instance of this statue, I have actually had 3 different statues of Alucard come through here from Mondo, and all the magnets have been okay, so I don't know if that's something they addressed, but I have really had no issues with the magnets here, so not too bad there. So right now you are looking at the backside of Alucard, and if you'll notice, there is a wolf as well as a bat. And this is a really cool idea. I really like how this was designed. The concept basically is that this is 2 of the 3 different forms that Alucard can take form with. And they're put into his cape, which is a really neat idea. Now, again, this is something that checking out other reviews online, people said that the actual paint on these were really messed up, that the wolf had like a milk stash, which if you don't know what that is, it's like a white mustache. And I believe people said a similar thing about the bat. And I can see towards the top right of the cheek of the bat that there is a little bit of white, but to me it actually doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty detailed, to be honest. I like this. I think it's cool. However, the downside of this, having this stuff in the back, is unless you have Alucard in a place where you can look at it from a 360-degree view, you're going to miss these details, which is unfortunate. It's a cool idea, don't get me wrong, but overall, You just won't see the details if this is turned around. And in my case, Alucard is turned facing front, so you can see him holding a sword. Right now, he's threatening Oni with his sword. I don't know if that would work, Alucard, but good luck to you. And just one other thing I want to talk about is this platform here, I think is really cool. It's got some excellent artwork on it, which I think is really, really cool. So overall, is it worth paying the $299 to pick up this Alucard statue? In my opinion, it's definitely not. If they lost the wolf, if they lost the bat, and they were able to reduce down some of the other features of this statue, I think they could certainly make it a $150 statue, and then it's worth considering. Unfortunately, when you look at the other options that are out there, you can get a far better looking Alucard statue slash figure from First Four Figures, as several Gamer Logic fans have pointed out to me. And there's also the upcoming Alucard statue that weighs about 45 pounds coming from Sideshow Collectibles this month. It's really hard to want to fathom the $300 price tag to pick this statue up. Now, is this the worst statue that you have ever seen? Is it a terrible depiction of Alucard? Not really, guys. I've seen a lot worse statues out there. This isn't that bad. But does it justify the $299? Most certainly not. Now, one other quick thing I want to bring up to finalize this review is my interactions with Mondo support, because as I mentioned, there was damage to this initial statue when it was purchased. Contacted Mondo support, reached out to them, even though they weren't the party involved, the actual purchase of the statue. They did go ahead and offer replacement parts and replacement statues when needed. No question on stuff. It was a really easy process to get what we needed and get the statue in 100% capacity to where it needed to be. Now, the most common pieces of damage on this statue, as I mentioned, is the hair. And, well, it just so happens that of all the stuff we've had go back and forth here, this is a severed Alucard head from this very statue. And the most common damage you will get is actually to the hair here, especially these locks. So that's something that you're going to want to look out for, because it was very easily damaged in transit from GameStop, where the statue was initially purchased, and when the replacement heads and replacement statues came in all together, the hair was always something that was usually damaged. The only other portion that received a lot of damage to it was a part of Alucard's cape, specifically towards the bat, which I believe the fang actually had the issue. But other than that, not too bad. I can see why Mondo probably took the element of doing the magnetic parts to put this statue together, maybe to make it a little bit more durable. I know when I got my Oni statues from State of the Art Toys, I think I went through 4 or 5 statues before I finally got a perfect statue. That was a very, very delicate statue as well. But overall, to sum things up, Mondo support was excellent. I have no issues with that. Is it worth $299? It's certainly not. Keep an eye out for it on eBay. Otherwise, there are far other options out there to pick up an additional Alucard statue. I'm Mike Murtis. You've been watching Gamer Logic. Take it easy.